Hello and welcome to Rahja's Raids. In this tutorial, I will be showing you how I defeated the Fallen Protectors with Edge of Zangarmarsh in our 10-man raid. The full video of Edge defeating the Fallen Protectors will follow at the end of this tutorial. The second boss of Siege of Orgrimmar is against the Fallen Protectors of the Golden Lotus, whose spirits became corrupted when the blast occurred. It is your job to free these spirits by defeating them. For this fight, we used 2 tanks, 5 DPS, and 3 healers. There are 3 protectors you must defeat: Rook Stonetoe, He Softfoot, and Sun Tenderheart. All 3 of them have different health pools and abilities, but share one common one. This ability is called Desperate Measure, which each protector will use when he or she reaches 66% and 33% health. Desperate Measure causes different mechanics to deal with according to which protector casts it. We had our main tank manage the first of the 3 protectors, Rook Stonetoe. When he casts Desperate Measure, he summons 3 adds which each have different names and abilities. They are Embodied Gloom, Embodied Sorrow, and Embodied Misery. Sorrow casts Inferno Strike. This ability selects a random raid member and shortly after deals a high amount of damage between anyone within 8 yards of them, which is indicated by a red circle. You must stack for this ability to split the damage. We had all our DPS and healers stack for this until we burned him down, then immediately spread. Gloom casts Corruption Shock, which deals an extremely high amount of damage to a few random players, and also deals it to anyone within 4 yards. The spell can and must be interrupted, especially while stacking to deal with Inferno Strike. Misery casts Defiled Ground, which knocks back and damages his current target, also leaving behind a trail of defiled ground that hurts if you walk on it. We had our main tank pull this add to the side away from everyone, and we killed this add last. He Softfoot is a rogue which we had our off-tank managed. When he casts Desperate Measure, he vanishes and summons an add called Embodied Anguish, which you must kill for him to reappear. Anguish will cast Mark of Anguish on a random raid member. This debuff deals damage to the raid member over time, roots them in place, and causes Anguish to fixate on them. If a player who is not a tank gets this debuff, you can click on the debuff and then click on the tank and transfer the mark to him. When meleeed by Anguish, the player takes a stack of Shadow Weakness, which deals increasing damage taken from Mark of Anguish, which is why you must send the mark back to the tank. However, when you pass Mark, the entire raid gains a stack of Shadow Weakness and causes the targeted player to gain a stack of Debilitation, which decreases their armor by 80% per stack for 2 minutes. Your off-tank will need to save cooldowns for this particular portion of the fight. DPS must burn this add down quickly, and healers must be prepared to pop their cooldowns on the tank as well. If the add stays up too long, the tank will die. The final protector is a monk called Sun Tenderheart, whom we also had our main tank manage. When she casts Desperate Measures, she vanishes and summons 2 adds called Embodied Despair and Embodied Desperation. They have no abilities but must be killed for her to reappear. Sun Tenderheart doesn't cast any of her regular abilities during Desperate Measures, but she does enter into a Dark Meditation, which inflicts a large amount of shadow damage to everyone in the raid. You can reduce the damage taken by standing inside a purple bubble in the middle called a Meditative Field. There will also be smaller adds summoned until Despair and Desperation are killed, called Despair Spawns and Desperation Spawns, which spawn from raid members. They have no abilities, but every time they deal damage to someone, the damage is mirrored to the person who spawned the ad. Besides their abilities during desperate measures, the Fallen Protectors also have regular abilities they use throughout the fight. Rook Stonetoe has 4 other abilities. The first is called Vengeful Strikes, which stuns his current target, then deals an insane amount of damage in a cone in front of him. I learned the hard way not to stand in front of this ability. Another ability is Corrupted Brew, where Stonetoe throws a keg of brew at a random raid member. If hit by this, you are slowed and take damage. Stay spread out to more easily avoid this mechanic. Finally, Stonetoe uses Clash, where he charges a random raid member and has them meet halfway in the air. He will immediately begin channeling Corruption Kick, which deals damage and applies a dot that can be dispelled if you are hit by it. Just move behind him to avoid this. He Softfoot applies Garrote on a random raid member, which is a strong-taking bleed that cannot be removed and has no timer, but it will be taken off everyone who has it when Softfoot uses desperate measures. Softfoot also uses Gouge, which incapacitates his main target for 6 seconds. He will then run off to randomly attack someone else in the raid until the tank is not incapacitated anymore. This can be avoided though. If the tank turns his back to Softfoot when Gouge is cast, he will fly backward instead and not lose aggro. Finally, Softfoot also uses 2 buffs which he alternates between. The first is Noxious Poison, which leaves a trail of poison clouds behind him when he melees. This is the main reason we have him tanked away from the other 2 protectors. The second buff he alternates to is called Instant Poison, causing his melee attacks to deal a larger amount of nature damage. Sun Tenderheart has 3 abilities when she isn't using desperate measures. The first is Shawseer, a channeled spell that deals damage to one raid member and anyone within 5 yards of that player. The second spell is Shadowword Bane, a dot applied on a random raid member that must be dispelled as quickly as possible. Every time the dot ticks, it copies itself on a new target and can affect 4 players at a time. Healers must make dispelling this debuff a top priority. Calamity is Tenderheart's final spell, which deals raid-wide damage, taking off 30% of each player's maximum health. However, it also clears all stacks of Shadowword Bane. Healers must make sure everyone is above half health when this spell occurs, especially the tanks. Popping damage reduction cooldowns is very useful as well. Now that you know all the individual spells and mechanics, there's one final thing you must know about. Once you have pushed all of the Fallen Protectors to 33% health, you must be aware of their health pools from that point on. This is because when one protector reaches 1% health, you have only 10 seconds to get the other 2 down as well before that defeated protector heals back to 20%. That completes this tutorial. The full video will begin shortly. Thank you for watching and happy healing!
EMS for everyone. Alright, we're all ready.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
1.
I mean, you gotta move for those.
So,
Glowing circle. If you're not inside it, you're not helping.
stay in. Stay in.
I can't get this one.
Now spread.
Anyone else have an interrupt? A mage or something?
No. Yeah, deal with freaking stuff.
We still got misery,
Spread
by
out.
the way.
Alright, keep it up. On Sun Tenderheart.
Need dispels. There we go.
How long does spell reflect last for? Spread. How many are on the wrong guy? You need to be on Rook. I mean, on Rook Stonetail. Can Mage's Ice block a road off? So,
Last time I tried it didn't.
stack up. Alright. Stay in.
Dispel.
Spread.
Mages counterspell this gloom.
Omni.
Holy shit. On he.
Need dispels if we can get them.
Already used mine.
Remember to be popping your damage reductions if you have grow.
Use cookies, please. Where can I stood in the stupid crap. He got turned.
Have we already read?
No.
I got her.
Rebuff me.
Innervated you, Rahja.
You guys focus on Manto.
Yep, I am.
Mantha, your mic's above your head.
I got cooldowns up.
Alright, let's get this 11 mil. Get this ad down.
Do you have any like pain suppression or anything?
Put it on you.
I put something on you too.
Come on. Fuck!
Too slow. We're just
Tried.
too slow on it.
Yep.
We got fucking everybody get on. Why don't you guys, like, during the very end, pop it on me?
Sun.
Yeah, Mantha, you could do that, you know. Oh no, there's a cooldown. I don't know. I'm not sure it would work, but you could put it on K-bar and then, like towards the end of that health bar when it starts getting tough.
Okay, she's
Is
gonna
this the
triple.
hero fade? Never mind.
Yep, let's hero on this one. Let's actually, no, actually we can't hero on this one. We need a tree form or something.
I'm up.
Holy shit, Dad.
I got him.
Battling cries
If
up.
you see yourself get down to about half, use your health stones.
Okay, who are we on?
Spread and spread and even burn all of them. This is the end. There's no more
Get out of
transition.
that. I'm
Right,
sticking
right.
Big
on
cooldowns
Sunfire.
on Aeon.
You guys hero
Okay,
again?
he's okay.
Yep, hero.
Dispel whenever you can.
Remember, use
Remember,
your
you
potions.
cannot kill anything. We have to keep it up. They almost died the
Heal
same.
cooldown. Sun needs to be.
We have 24 mil on Sun. We need to get on Sun hard.
Use your cooldown.
Stop on
Pop
the roof.
individuals.
Yeah.
I'm getting cluttered back
We're at
here.
14
She's at
mil.
18. She's
Alright,
More on
go on, heat.
soft foot.
more, and he's got 14. Brooks got 10, and Sun's got 5.
Stay spread.
He still needs to be third.
T soft foot should be your focus right now. Alright, a little more on Rook and then burn them down together. Just kill them all. Kill them all.
Good job, guys.
Nice!
Nice.
Yeah!
Woo!
Very nice.
Yeah, we're
Shoulders.
very good, but that was
What's their
tough.
DPS shoulder,
Guys.
Broski?
Mantho always
Sorry,
dies.
man.
Of course.
Have you guys noticed? Mantho always dies on every kill we get.
I think we should sacrifice him just so we can get a kill at the first kill.
Yep.
That's
Mantho
two
needs to
so
die.
far.
Last 30%, just let Manto die.